Alrighty.
Hey guys,
Hi,
this is Amy
this is Cassie.
from
Silver Lining.
Silver Lining Podcast and
It's-
Company.
It's just to say it's not just a podcast; it's a video. So
It's a video, and while we're podcasting and videoing at the same time, so we wanted to do a live, but we just aren't that talented yet.
try. You can only try so much.
So anyhow, we thought we would do another video and a podcast because we haven't done one in a few days. So yummy apple juice.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought we would talk about where we live and
Yes.
kind of how it all happened. And the biggest thing that we kind of want to like talk about and share is that it's life changing. So, and that you need to kind of live life to the fullest and just take chances and just do it. So,
Mm-hmm.
we literally almost 3 years ago packed up our whole house and our family and moved about 900 miles away down south.
Yep.
So, with a wing and a prayer, we did it. And it wasn't easy. And there were a
No.
lot of tears.
Yeah.
Because we moved down here and we had a place to live. My husband's boss generously offered his home to us, but we couldn't take the animals. So that wasn't fun. And then it wasn't in the most lovely neighborhood.
It was in the hood.
So we
You were in the hood.
we ended up living there for just like, what, 3 days?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I flew back home with Grandma because we were on vacation during this time. So they decided they were going to look at houses, and in the end, we couldn't find any. And Grandma needed to go home to go to work, and so I flew back with her, and Mom and my dad.
Connor and I.
Yeah,
And Dad stayed for a little bit.
Dad stayed for like a week, an extra week, and then you guys came home.
We stayed for a few days. We ended up staying at a hotel down there in Navarre for a night with Connor. I don't remember how that worked. In the midst of all of this, trying to remember how it all went down.
Because it started out in Arby's because we were all crying in Arby's because that was the worst.
Everybody was tired. We took this beautiful vacation to Destin, well, actually in Miramar Beach, which I don't know if you've ever been there. If you have not been there, you need to go. It's just absolutely beautiful. Good morning, sunshine.
He just came out of the blanket.
Hi. I'm sorry, we're pet people. We love our babies. But we were vacationing there, and we took half of our vacation to spend the whole week looking for a house. Like you said, we had a house, and he even offered it to us for nothing for a little while. But it just wasn't right for our family because it wasn't in the nicest area. We couldn't have dogs, kids, it was just kind of difficult. So we spent a lot of time trying to find houses, and it was just out of the, I don't know.
We had a few, less than a few weeks to move or something like that, or less than a month or something.
He was supposed to start August 1st.
Yeah, we moved before then.
No, we didn't move till after. I got that stuff all over me. I think that's a pen. Anyhow, we didn't, we ended up going back up there after we finally did find a house. The biggest reason it was so hard to find a house is, number one, nobody wants to rent a house to anyone that has 3 dogs, and two of them were collies, so
they were bigger.
There's a lot of houses for rent with dogs, but they don't tend to like the bigger dogs. They seem to be okay with little dogs, but the big dogs not so much. So,
which I don't understand, because the little dogs pee more than the big dogs.
Some do, some don't. So we ended up somehow my husband's boss has a friend that knew somebody that might have a house. So we ended up meeting him. And I think that's the night, I think that was maybe a night or two after we stayed in Navarre. Because I can't remember how many nights we stayed in Navarre in the hotel. Because Connor never stayed up there with us.
I wasn't here, so.
So anyhow, by the grace of God, I guess, we ended up finding a house.
Oh, you guys had went back down. You had come home and then Dad took off work.
Yeah. Oh,
and then
yes,
we
that's
came
what
back
it was.
down.
Because he remember we were all in tears because we thought he was going to come down
He
by
would
himself.
he would have to live here by
for
himself
a while until we could find something, and then somehow.
You said through a friend, Travis knew somebody or something.
Oh, we were going to bring him down. Remember? Okay, now I remember. We were going to
Bring
bring him down with his cousin and one of his friends, and we were going to stay in the house that his boss was letting us live in for a little bit, and then we were going to go back home until we could find something. But in the midst of staying there, we stayed there 3 days. And then the midst of that is when his boss's friend kind of like let us know about a house here where we're at. It made it difficult because of the dogs, and then it also made it difficult. We could have lived anywhere, but Connor was starting school, and
they didn't have open enrollment yet.
They didn't have open enrollment, and even if they had, even now, like Connor would be okay if we moved up to Pensacola or wherever, but at the time they didn't have it. So it would have mattered, but now they're still pretty strict about it. Like if somebody moves or whatever, you still kind of have to have some time here, if that makes any sense. Like the people that live here, that have been going to school here, if they move, they get first priority type of thing. Instead of somebody that just moved to Navarre and all of a sudden says, hey, I want to go to school here or whatever. So that made it kind of hard as well, which is okay because it was really cool how it all blended out, because then Connor made some phenomenal friends here, and from where we came from, he was having so many issues. The year before we moved down here, he told us that we either move or I'm going to homeschool. Quit kicking me.
Pay attention to the camera. Stop looking at me.
Why? We're having a conversation. We had it made me forget what I was gonna say.
Whoops.
So, yeah. Anyhow, what were we saying?
Connor, you were either gonna homeschool him, or he was going to a different school, or we're gonna move.
He had some teachers, and it's funny because he wasn't the one having issues with the teachers. It was the teachers were being mean to other kids, and
they were nasty. They weren't just mean; they were nasty.
There's a couple of teachers at the school that we came from that were they were just downright bullies, and they were mean, and they had no business being teachers. One in particular, Connor would tell how they would take somebody and put them up at the chalkboard or whatever, and if they didn't know stuff, they would scream and call them names and things like that. He is kind of a sensitive.
That's not a chalkboard. It was a whiteboard.
Oh, sorry, whiteboard. I don't know what y'all. I've been in school for how many years? But he did not like. Shut up. You're not young anymore, so shush.
I'm younger.
Yes, you're younger. Anyhow, quit interrupting me.
I'm just saying.
So. He's kind of sensitive.
He's really sensitive.
So he doesn't like people being picked on. And and he was always scared he was going to get yelled at. So he was like, is that thunder? No, that's an airplane. So he was always scared he was going to get in trouble. And he just had this fear constantly. And he got to the point where he absolutely hated going to school. Absolutely hated it.
Me, senior year.
Huh?
That was me, senior year.
That was her senior year. So, anyhow, it was a blessing when we got down here. I mean, he went from getting bad grades. I mean,
he was failing.
He would sometimes bring home F's and D's, which was kind of not like him. And now he's a straight A/B student. So it just tells you the difference in how teachers are and interact with kids. And
I wonder if he doesn't at his new school.
Yeah, I think they do.
I wonder if he'll get on it.
I don't know. But he just thrived so much better here. Made some really nice friends. Eden was a little bit cliquey. So, and it's not that he didn't have friends, and he got along with everybody, so it wasn't really so much that there's just something there. And I get it because I came from there, and I was everything in my power to try and get the hell out of that place.
I wasn't lucky. I was, had to graduate from there, so.
Yeah, but we already did a podcast on your year from.
I know.
How-
Connor was lucky. I'm jealous.
Yes, Connor was lucky. And he's made some good friends and he's gotten to spend some time. And they're good kids too. They're real good kids. So we can't complain.
For the most part.
For the most part. There's one in particular who's really like took my like what I want to do, hang out here. So anyhow, he was very lucky. And it was really, really nice for the first year we lived here. And it's still really nice. And eventually can't wait to do our own thing, have our own house. We just don't know exactly what we're doing or where we're going for the future, so we just haven't bought, so we're still renting. And renting's got its advantages, but it's also got its disadvantages. So, but it's okay. We have a roof over our house and
A roof over our heads.
a roof over our heads.
A roof over our house? I'd hope so.
A roof over our house, that would be really good. A roof over our heads, some food on the table, and our business, and all the blessings.
And our fat man that we got, if we wouldn't have moved down here, we wouldn't have had Tyke.
Yeah, but we had to lose one to get one.
I know, but that's unfortunately life. So.
Right? It is. We have spoiled dogs.
Yeah, and it's all their fault that we had to, we couldn't find a place to move.
It's all their fault. Oh, yeah. It was their fault. We couldn't find a place. We could have found a place like tomorrow had we not had the dogs. And then my mom had talked about maybe we could just bring our little one. And then she'd keep the big girls. But we were just like, no.
They're our babies.
Yeah, we're a family. We can't not do this together. So it's all, I know it was kind of a faith in a God thing because he kind of literally like last minute pulled everything together because.
It was funny because like for the longest time, she would always be like, I want to move to Florida. And my father was like, no, I don't want to move to Florida. I don't want to move.
I didn't know if he'd like the heat.
Yeah.
And I made a wimp out of him because now he wants to move someday further south because even the winters here get a little cold because we're up north Florida. So
he's a baby.
But it was tough. I remember standing in the kitchen, all of us crying because he was going to have to come down here by himself without us until we figured, so I could take care of you guys. And
yeah, because I had just finished school or something. Like, it was like I had graduation and Connor was still in school or something like that.
I know, it was August, honey.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Or something, there was something going on that I can't remember. Because, like,
your college, we had all your college stuff picked up, but
that's what it was. Schooling. So, yeah.
We didn't end up doing any of that.
I kind of wish I would, but then again, I don't, because then I wouldn't have met Tabitha, so.
Right. We've met some really awesome people here, so. It was beyond the move, it was beyond worth it. And I guess the whole idea and why we're doing this video and the podcast is because take chances. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. I mean, yeah, you gotta think about it. Don't get me wrong, but it was the best thing we've ever done for our family. It really was.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there would have been some really serious things, not good, coming out of if we would have stayed. My stomach just growled.
What do you mean by things that wouldn't have?
Well,
the town was dying, so
the town that we lived in has. I mean, they finally put in a Dollar General, so I guess it's good. The grocery store went out, the post office went out. There was one stop. Like, there's like nothing there. I mean, they're really for kids.
Less than 800 people lived in this town.
I think it was up to about 1,000 when we left.
No,
Yeah,
I looked at the population thing like 2 years ago. Was it?
Yeah, like no, it was.
You know what? I'm gonna prove you wrong.
That's right. You proved me wrong.
I will. Okay.
But the point is there's nothing there. I mean, the kids have to leave to go to school. I mean, there's a couple of colleges that are close, but they're even, good, 45 minutes away? So, there's just not a lot there. And it's not a bad town. It's a family town. Oh my gosh, there's 820 people. You are right.
I told you. I said the town's dying.
Yeah. Not very many people there, so.
I was right.
We've kind of become acclimated to city life. Kind of like it, but yeah, sometimes we miss country. We're having issues.
I'm going bald.
Yeah, right. Bald. Guys, look. Bald my butt. So what else?
I don't know.
What did you take out of everything moving?
I lost a lot of good friends.
Yeah, lose them.
No, I moved away from them, and it's hard to because we're what, how many miles away? 900 miles away from.
Yeah, your friends.
Yeah. It was funny because like before we moved, I had started just getting like really really good friends, and then we moved. But then I have Tabitha, so she's my best friend besides Kylie, and I love her.
We had started kind of going to, we went to a church and kind of went to groups to try and get her out to meet friends. But her age, with, you know, because she hasn't attended college yet, so at your age, it's a little bit hard to.
Yeah, that's why I said it would have
Meet
been nice
people.
for me to move senior year, because then you'd meet some people and like.
And nothing came up senior year because I'd been begging your dad to move for years. As a matter of fact, it was only maybe a year after we built our house out in the country that your dad was offered the other job, but it wasn't anywhere where we wanted to live. So,
Where was it?
Fort Lauderdale.
Is that where all the shootings happen?
Huh?
Is that where like everybody dies and stuff happens? It's scary because there's crime, like a lot of crime. Kind of.
I don't know if there's. I mean, there's crime, but you're talking like really. I mean, big city living. That would have been. I mean, this was good because it's a small town. I mean, small town like Defiance or whatever.
Oh, it's
but
more
you're
than
talking a big, huh?
Oh, it's more than that. It'd be like Fort Wayne.
Here?
Yeah.
I'm not here in Gulf Breeze. This isn't as big as Fort Wayne. Not even close. Pensacola, yeah, not here. I think Gulf Breeze, depending on it, just depends on. Yeah, I think Bryan's about the same.
Okay.
They might be a little bit less than that, but so it was a nice. It was a nice. I don't know. It wasn't. I think that other one would have been. Wow, Bryan's got more people than we do. Wow.
It's because everybody's moving there. Because Aiden
And Bryan?
Yeah, because there's a lot of
Right.
kids looking for apartments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of those compared
Because
to.
there's a little more there than there is in Eden. So, yeah. Anyhow, we had to get out of there. It was time.
Mhm.
It was time. It was time.
Yep.
There are some things we kind of wish we'd have done a little different, but we just, like I said, winged it.
Literally.
We ended up bringing a great big moving truck, and my
Trailer.
husband's cousin had his truck with a trailer to bring her car down.
And he almost.
And then he bought a trailer, and then my Uncle Roger
Uncle Roger drew the
pulled
truck.
our trailer. No, Dad
He
pulled
had-
our truck.
I-
Oh yeah, Uncle Roger drove the truck.
He drove
So
the
we had
Penske
this whole
truck.
convoy going down. We come
Yeah.
down all in one day because
It was-
we had the
Yeah.
dogs. And
It was funny
we have
because
one dog that gets sick when she travels, so we had to drug her up with whatever that stuff's called, Dramamine.
Dramamine, yeah.
And but she did really good. She did so good. They all did so good the whole way for it was 14 hours, which I know it was longer than that because of all the stops we had to make and eat and drink.
Yeah,
and
we didn't get here till like
it was like
almost 1.
I think
It was
more
11.
like 11 something.
And then we unpacked, and by the time we all got
didn't
settled,
unpack much.
No, we
unpacked
just-
bed, stuff to sleep on.
our mattresses, and it was like 1 something before we all like at least settled down after that.
But
So
it was cool.
it was. Yeah, we
It
left
was
at like
worth it.
5 in the morning or something like that.
We like to travel, so
Mhm.
don't be afraid to live.
No.
Just do it.
Yep. I don't regret moving here, so
I don't regret it either.
I'm happier here, definitely for sure, than I was
too.
ever in Eden.
And I think, like for me, it was good because I think I get like winter depression. And winter got to be that year before we moved. You remember all that snow and how cold it was? I
Yeah.
remember how many times Dad had to go out and try and start everybody's vehicles because it was so, like we had a whole month of nothing above 0 the year before we moved down here, and it was just like I can't do this anymore. So
Yeah, I had
need
a lot of-
sunshine.
Yeah, I had a lot of. During that year, I was still in school, right? It's 2015 when we moved down here.
No.
That's the year. Yeah, it was.
The year you graduated.
Yeah. I mean, the year we moved down was 2015. So yeah,
Yes.
the year I graduated. But that year, like I remember, like it was snowing all the time, and I like constantly have days off.
Well, which is good because you had that bad year anyhow.
Yeah, I twisted both of my ankles. The second one wasn't my fault. No, so
So you say.
it wasn't. I didn't
Just kidding.
mess with my crutches.
You
I didn't
did.
even know how to use my crutches. Why would I mess with them?
Right. Anyhow.
Alrighty, I
Kind
guess.
of uneventful, fun. That's what we're about. That's why we kind of put stuff out there that we want people to take to heart and to laugh and just learn to live life.
Yep.
Anyhow, that's
Alright.
it.
See ya. Bye.